3 of 14 tonight. Was it their defense or was the elbow flaring up? We normally don't see this type of performance out of you in a big game like this.
I think, of course, their defense had a little bit to do with it because they're on the court and they're very aggressive. But I just missed a lot of shots, missed a lot of open shots that I'm capable of making. And just like you said, we don't see it out of me a lot. So when it happens, it's a big surprise. So I mean, I'll go over the film, but they played me the same way they've played me all series. And I just wasn't able to knock down those shots that I was able to get some good looks at.
You mentioned in Game 3 before it, you needed to be more aggressive. You were. The last 2 games early in the games, you really haven't been as aggressive on offense. Why the change when you were so successful?
No, it's not a change. I wasn't able to knock any shots down from the field, but I was still able to get to the free throw line early in the game. I don't think it's a change. I mean, I play according to the game and see how it's flowing. And I mean, we had a great flow. I mean, I wasn't able to get anything offensively going for myself, but I was still able to, to do some other things and get some rebounds, get some assists, and get guys going early in the game. And it was a good game to start the game.
LeBron, back to your right. Paul Pierce's game was a little bit better, obviously, than the series average. Was he doing anything different on the offensive end, or was it just a product of him finally hitting open shots that he was missing throughout the rest of the series?
Well, Paul came out aggressive. I mean, but he did a good job of just trying to attack and just trying to get a good feeling for the game. He didn't shoot the ball particularly well from the field, but he was aggressive and he was able to get 11 rebounds also while doing that. So, he's a good enough player where you feel like you just can't stop. You hope to contain him, but he was able to get it going. I mean, mostly the whole team and their whole starting 5, especially the big 3, had it going all game.
LeBron, how did your elbow feel tonight?
Feel good. I didn't have no problems with it.
This is potentially the last home game you guys play here this season if this doesn't go well in the next game. How did you feel about that tonight in that context?
Didn't even think about that. I feel like Game 6 is a huge game for us. Game 5 was a huge game. We just didn't come out and play particularly well all game. I think in the first quarter we did. Didn't play particularly well in the second quarter, third, or fourth. But me sitting up here and saying it's potentially our last game here for the season, that it wouldn't be me, it wouldn't be our team.
LeBron, Ken Berger from CBSSports.com down in front of you. Doc Rivers talked before the game about his team was able to find its identity in the playoffs. Do you feel like your team is still trying to find what its identity is at this point?
No, I don't think so. I mean, we know what it takes to win as a team, but at the same time, we haven't played great basketball. I mean, that's been all playoffs. We had a few stretches, we had a few quarters, we had a few games where we played particularly well, but for a collective group throughout the whole playoffs, we haven't played great basketball. So I don't feel like it's an identity thing. I just think it's a consistency thing, and we haven't had that.
Lamar, as well as in the day show here in the front. In your mind, what can be done to pick up the pace out there on the court?
Well, first of all, offensively, you got to shoot the ball well. You got to shoot the ball particularly well sometimes against a very aggressive defensive team. And when you don't shoot the ball, they continue to shrink and shrink and shrink the floor and make you shoot outside shots. And if you're not knocking those down, then it could be a long night. So we shot 41% from the field, and I mean, that's never going to help us win a game at that point when we're not executing, I think, offensively.
LeBron, over here on your right, how did it feel to be booed by your home crowd?
Oh, it's not a big thing. I mean, we played awful. I mean, they got every right to boo us if they want to. When you have a game like that, a huge game, so no disrespect to the fans. I mean, they've been great to us. We try to go out there every game and try to give it our all, but I mean, they see us. They've seen us at the highest level, and they've seen us at the lowest level. So, if they feel like it was the right to boo, then so be it.
Brian, you guys were up, I think, 8 points early in the second period when Rondo went to the bench, and they went on a 16-0 run without him even in the game. How pivotal was that stretch in starting to turn the game?
Well, I think the big 3 had it going. I mean, they just, especially Ray. Ray had it going all night, especially from outside the arc, and I mean, KG just had it going in the paint, and I mean that's what Hall of Famers do. When a guy go to the bench, and those guys stepped it up. Those guys were great tonight, all 3 of them. And then Rondo, did what he had to do in the second half.
LeBron, to your right, are you worried, and why or why not?
I'm not worried. I think, the thing that you can be worried about is our consistent play. We haven't been there consistently throughout the playoffs. As far as worried about the series, not worried about it. I mean, it's a really good team that we're going against, and I mean, you would hope that you could be up 3-2 at this point, but we're not. But the next opportunity is Thursday, and we won on that floor before. But we got to play hard. We got to play a great game. We got to execute. I think it's more mental. The game is more mentally challenging than just going out there and just playing the game. You got to also think the game and know what's best, in that particular game and what's working. So if we have that type of mindset, then we got a good chance of winning.
Bron, to your right. I know you don't want to use the elbow as an excuse, but you've had 3 games in this series that are not to your standard. Do you think it's affecting you maybe mentally even more than physically? Or how can when you go to bed at night, how do you think about what's going on and the games you have to play like this before your career?
I mean, for me, you just got to go out there and just try to do what's best. And for me, I'm not an excuse guy, and the fact that I spoil a lot of people with my play. You have a bad game here or there. You had 3 bad games in a 7-year career. Then it's easy to point that out. So when you just got to be better. I put a lot of pressure on myself to be out there and try to be great, be the best player on the court. And when I'm not, then I feel bad for myself, because I'm not going out there and doing the things that I know I can do. But I don't hang my head low or make excuses about anything that may be going on, because that's just not the type of player and the type of person I am.
LeBron, what did Mike say to you guys afterwards, and have you talked to the team, or will you plan on doing that tomorrow?
Well, Mike said we got to get ready for Game 6. I mean, 7-game series, we get ready for Game 6, and that was about it. As far as for me, I mean, my leadership has always been spoken. I speak every game to the guys. I mean, I'm not a huge motivational type of guy. I mean, I say what I feel needs to be said, and we go out there and try to play the game.
Right, there was a lot of questions asked about the intensity after Game 4. Did you feel the intensity for this one was there?
When you lose by 30-plus points, I mean, you question the intensity. I think we started off well. In the first quarter, we started off well. We made some shots, and we held them to 20 points in the quarter. When you give up 30, 30, and 40 for the next 3 quarters, that's not particularly getting it done. So, we came out with the right intentions, just didn't have it the whole game.
You've mentioned consistency a number of times. Short season, 2 games, you hope. How do you become consistent in such a short period of time?
We know we can win games. And the tough thing about this league is you can never predict the outcome of a game. You can only go out there and hope that the game plan is right and hope that you have it that night. So, consistency right now is something that we haven't had all postseason, but we can't use that as an excuse in Game 6 because, just like you said, it can become a short season. So, our back is against the wall, but at the same time, we have room to breathe, and we've won on the floor before, so we got to get it done.